All right. So, first of all,
Yes.
the arrival. When we first found out that you were going to be filming and being a part of this wonderful filming, what was your initial reaction?
To the material or just the idea that we're
Well,
shooting film?
to a little bit of both. I mean, to the material and to you knowing what you had to capture, and
Right.
bring to life.
Well, the material spoke to me earlier because it's a film about, a parent questioning their own mortality and the mortality of their children. So that really spoke to me. And then on top of that, I was going to take a journey with a filmmaker that I really love and respect. So, in terms of visual sensibilities, I felt like there was we share a lot in common, and then we were going to tell the story that I think we both also share in common as well. So that's a good start. And then it's just about really unpacking and being honest and sort of vulnerable to the process and trying to figure out what we can learn and discover as we make the film. And I thought, again, that goes back to knowing what kind of filmmaker Denis is and the potential of material. I felt like we could find something. You know what I mean? It was like, I keep saying if there's a list of 100 things, if we found one of those things, it's a success. So
Wow.
I think we found some imperfect elements in there that make, I think, which is a real grounded film story.
For sure. Yeah, it was really, really well done. Talk a little bit about just what it means to you to be a cinematographer. We understand the technical aspect of it, but for you, what does it mean to be that?
That's a really good question. I mean, cinematography for me is just a tool. You know what I mean? For me, this whole process is about healing. And so right now, cinematography is the one tool that I'm using to help in my own process of healing. And so it doesn't mean I'm going to be a cinematographer forever. It doesn't mean I'm going to be a cinematographer 2 years, 3 years from now. Right now, this is what works. Image making for me is the way that I can say the things that I want to say as a human being concerned with life, and a human being that has questions about life and existence. And so, this is just a tool. It's a tool that allows me to have a relationship with light and shadow that I feel other tools won't allow me to access.
When it comes to that first moment where you had the belief that you were able to do this, what did that look like, and what gave you that initial, drive to want to follow your dream?
Well, I'm still on the journey to figure out what this all means to me. So I don't think I've had that light bulb. I never had that light bulb moment. It's just a continuous sort of low level glow that just gradually gets brighter and brighter and brighter. And so for me, it's just a journey. You know what I mean? I mean, it doesn't have to explode before I turn the switch off. You know what I mean? Like, I'm willing to let it die out as it needs to. So right now, it's just a journey for me. It's not with no expectations.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping.
You've had a chance to work with Ava a lot, and you mentioned your career kind of getting brighter and brighter. Would you say that chronologically it's getting brighter with the bigger projects, or is it how would you describe the way that you feel like your success is unraveling?
Right. Well, I don't necessarily marry the brightness to success. I think, for me, I think it's. Ask me the question one more time. So
For sure. Well, you started off, with a hard-hitting film with Ava. I know you've done a lot more since before then.
Yeah.
But that's something that I feel like people will really remember you for. So when it came to this, your initial, coming in as a cinematographer working with Ava, do you feel like that was the brightest part of your career so far, or as the projects get bigger, do you feel like it becomes better and more successful for you?
Yeah, well, I would say every moment. It's a really good question. I think every moment is a bright moment because I really have tried to sort of curate the projects I've chosen to photograph, and I've tried to curate it in the sense that it's allowed me to grow not only as an artist, as a practicing image maker, but as a human being. And so, if I can take away, I consider it all bright moments because every one I take something away from it that allows me to offer my family something, and offer my community something. And so, in essence, it's all every moment. Though the process is arduous and difficult, the takeaway is always bright because want the people to show up to see the material and they can connect with it. That's ultimately why we do it. And so it's a bonus when you can do it with your friends. It's a bonus when you can do it with directors and production designers and editors and producers that also are on the same page with you in terms of your worldview. And so it's you know, I wouldn't say that working at Ava is like a particularly bright point, but it's equally bright as all the other collaborations, and it just makes it more special because she's a friend, a dear friend, and she's somebody that's in my immediate community.
Absolutely. You know, you talk about community, and you're ultimately making these films for the community and for people to embrace and to watch and hopefully love. So when it comes to the process of being a cinematographer, where you meet with the director and creatively come up with these decisions, talk about the love of manipulation, because, you know, cinematography is all about manipulating emotions and colors, and so how does that play a part in your mindset as a person? Does it go hand in hand, or?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because we're using light and shadow to I won't say manipulate, but it's a good word. But I would say reorientate people's relationship with time and space, and that's a real privilege, you know, and that's a privilege, and that's something that some of us don't get to do in real time in everyday life. Film allows us to be a shroud of real time, but be able to play with time, space, and light in a way that we wouldn't be able to in real time, in real life. And so, but you have to be careful with that, though. You know, you have to be very sensitive of what that means for people who show up to view the material but weren't necessarily part of the process of making the material. And so it's a constant balance of being acutely aware of audience, knowing who your audience is, respecting your audience, which has its own ups and downs, right? Being totally 100% connected has its own ups and connected to audience has its own ups and downs. The other part is, as an artist, being connected to your own and being honest to your own interpretation of, again, light, shadow, time, and space. And so, you know, it's that notion of, if I'm being honest to my own notions of time, space, light, and shadow, then if one person in the audience has a connection to that interpretation of it, then we've done what we're supposed to do. And so, but you know, I think you have to tread lightly with those things. And film is a film. You know, as much as film can hold us up, film also has the ability to hold us down, because it's such a virtuous art form. You know, it's one, and it's one that we really trust, and it's one we depend on to bring a certain level of excitement, enlightenment, joy, and questions to our life. And so it's a process that allows you to be free as a practitioner, but also it's a process that you have to be very careful with.
It's not a process that you seem to take very lightly. You're very serious about this craft, it seems like to me.
Well, this is all I have. You know, this is what, next to my family, this is how I connect to the world. And so this is how I connect to my own feelings. Not necessarily connect to the world, but this is how I connect to my own feelings. And so this is how I connect to myself. This is how I connect to things that I have questions about.
Yeah.
So,
well, speaking of questions, this is my last one. You know, at this moment in life, you know, at this pinnacle, you have pretty much everything at your own disposal that you want to create right now. What's something on the horizon that you're most excited about?
It's not film. I don't know, man. I'm excited about watching my kids grow up. You know, I'm excited about you know, bearing witness to a fulfilling, growing partnership with my partner. So that's why I do this anyway, right? Because I'm trying to be. This allows me to be a better person in that space. And so the most exciting thing in my life right now is, you know, watching my two boys grow. That's all.
What's the most fulfilling part about being a father? That's my last question. Just when it comes to fatherhood, what's the most fulfilling aspect of fatherhood?
Knowing that your children are smarter than you.
For sure.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time, brother.
Yeah.
Look forward to more.
Yep.